Des Moines is about to hit 72 degrees next Wednesday, while New York City gets buried under 18 inches of snow. That's a 90-degree temperature swing across the country. The groundhog predicted 6 more weeks of winter, but Mother Nature is about to fire him because some areas will be running 40 degrees above average by midweek. And here's what the models just changed overnight. The second half of February is flipping to an active storm track with at least 2 major winter storms headed our way. After a pretty quiet first half of the month, I mean, how many of you actually thought winter was packing up and heading home? The pattern is doing a complete 180 on us. We've got severe weather returning this weekend with multiple tornadoes possible, feet of snow from California to the Northeast, and a winter heat wave that makes absolutely no sense. This is not your typical February setup, folks. The atmosphere is waking up from its nap, and it's about to affect over 200 million Americans. Drop your city in the comments right now. I want to know where you're watching from and whether you're bracing for snow, severe weather, or that crazy warm-up. And if you've got family anywhere from California to Maine, do me a favor and share this with them, because this pattern flip affects the entire lower 48. Stick with me through the entire breakdown, because at the end I've got 3 bold predictions you can screenshot, and a warning about what's coming after this warm-up. All right. Let me explain why this pattern change is such a big deal, because understanding the jet stream setup explains everything that's about to happen. Right now, we've got a massive dip in the jet stream over the desert southwest, and that's where our first storm system is sitting ready to move east. Think of the jet stream like Interstate 80, and right now there's a traffic jam of storms backed up from California to New York, all waiting to cross the country. Behind this first storm, there's a monster ridge building, and that ridge is going to pump warm air northward like we haven't seen all winter long. We're talking record-shattering heat as far north as Minnesota and South Dakota, with some areas running a full 40 degrees above where they should be. But here's the twist that snow lovers are going to appreciate: that same ridge is actually supercharging the jet stream coming out of the Pacific. Very strong winds aloft will stretch from Arizona all the way to the mid-Atlantic, and that's a powerhouse setup for moisture transport. A very large atmospheric river event is lining up for next week, basically a fire hose of moisture stretching from the Pacific Ocean to the northeast. What this means in plain English is we should have at least 2 very big storms next week. Maybe more, and that's on top of what's hitting us this weekend. Now let me break down this weekend's storm first, because it arrives today and it's going to bring widespread impacts across multiple regions. This storm has the potential to absolutely wreck your Valentine's Day plans, as widespread rainfall makes conditions miserable from Texas to the East Coast. We've got severe weather with damaging winds, large hail, and a couple of tornadoes possible, plus snow showers on the northern side of the system. And here's how you know this setup is significant. Storm chasers who've been sitting at home bored all winter are loading up their cars right now. They're driving hundreds of miles to the middle of nowhere in West Texas just to see some action. And when the professionals are that excited, pay attention. That tells you just how long it's been since we've had real severe weather, and how hungry everyone is for some storm-chasing action. The Storm Prediction Center has a marginal risk across Texas stretching into Oklahoma today, and that threat expands tomorrow into Saturday. And here's something ironic about the timing. The severe weather outlook for Saturday almost looks like a heart on the map stretching from Texas to Louisiana. Mother Nature's Valentine's Day card to the south, though not exactly the kind of love letter you were hoping to receive this weekend. Now here's the timeline you need to know, because the severe weather really gets cranking after sunset tonight and continues through the weekend. Today we'll have some isolated hailstorms stretching from Oklahoma City back towards Midland, Texas late this afternoon around 6 to 7 p.m. For the most part, we're talking about hail today. The tornado risk is very low, though I wouldn't be shocked if we see a brief spin-up somewhere. Tomorrow morning, Saturday, a cluster of storms will be ongoing near Wichita Falls, with heavy rain stretching up towards Joplin and Springfield. The real severe weather threat tomorrow doesn't get going until around 2 to 3 p.m. along a line of thunderstorms near Dallas-Fort Worth down the I-35 corridor. And here's what keeps me up at night about this setup. The overnight threat could be the most dangerous part of this entire system. We're talking a long line of storms producing scattered, damaging winds around 60 to 70 miles per hour, with embedded tornadoes possible in that line. The danger window is specifically between midnight and 6 a.m., and that timing is exactly what worries me most about this event. That's when you're in your deepest sleep. That's when the storms roll through Mississippi, Alabama, and near New Orleans. Here's the question I need you to answer honestly. If a tornado warning is issued at 3 a.m., will your phone actually wake you up? Because that could be the difference between life and death. And I'm not being dramatic here. Overnight tornadoes are the deadliest kind. Southern viewers, do you know where your safe room is? Do you have a weather radio or app that will wake you up? Figure that out tonight. Let me know your plan in the comments. I genuinely want to know that you're prepared for what's coming this weekend. Now let me run through the city-by-city breakdown, because I've got data on over 100 cities and I know you want the specifics for your area. Starting with the Northeast, where the big snow is coming. And folks, these numbers are going to make your jaw drop. New York City is looking at 12 to 18 inches of heavy wet snow with 40 miles per hour winds. Travel is going to be an absolute nightmare. That's not a typo. 12 to 18 inches in New York City. Winter storm warnings are going up and flights are already getting canceled left and right. Boston is bracing for 10 to 16 inches with 45 miles per hour winds. We're talking near blizzard conditions with coastal flooding adding to the mess. Philadelphia, 10 to 15 inches with a quarter inch of ice on top. That ice is what's going to take down power lines and cause widespread outages. Washington, D.C., 7 to 12 inches with 35 miles per hour winds. Federal government shutdown is being discussed. The capital could be completely paralyzed. Baltimore, 9 to 13 inches with ice accumulation. The port is preparing for disruptions. Bridges are going to be absolutely treacherous. Newark, 11 to 15 inches with heavy winds. All three major airports are going to be a disaster zone. Plan for cancellations, not just delays. Jersey City, 12 to 16 inches with ice. Path train suspensions are likely. Hudson River flooding is a real concern. And here's the wild card, Buffalo. 10 to 14 inches of lake effect snow with 50 miles per hour winds creating complete whiteout conditions. Historic snow bands are possible in Buffalo, the kind where you literally cannot see your hand in front of your face. Pittsburgh, 8 to 12 inches with the Allegheny River rising. Bridge icing is going to be extremely dangerous. 35 miles per hour winds. If you're anywhere in the Northeast watching right now, let me know in the comments, are you ready for this? Do you have supplies stocked up? All right, shifting to the Mid-Atlantic and Appalachians where some of the heaviest snow totals are actually expected. Richmond, 8 to 12 inches with the James River rising. Capital alerts are in effect across Virginia. 30 miles per hour winds. Charlotte, 8 to 14 inches in the Appalachian foothills with rain mixing into the south. Power outages are going to be widespread. Raleigh, 6 to 10 inches with significant ice accumulation. And that ice is going to be the real story for power outages. Greensboro, 7 to 11 inches with ice. The Piedmont region is going to see power surges and outages across the board. Durham, 6 to 9 inches with ice. Research Triangle lab closures are already being announced. Work from home if you can. Winston-Salem, 7 to 10 inches. Power loss is expected across the region. Make sure those flashlights have fresh batteries. Now let me cover the Midwest and Great Lakes, because you're dealing with serious cold on top of the snow, and that's a dangerous combo. Chicago, 8 to 12 inches of snow with temperatures dropping to -10. This is a full-on blizzard setup with travel advisories everywhere. Minneapolis, 7 to 11 inches with extreme cold hitting -15, wind chills dropping to -30. This is hypothermia territory, folks. St. Paul, 7 to 10 inches with the same brutal cold. Wind chills to -35, exposed skin can get frostbite in minutes. Milwaukee, 6 to 10 inches with lake effect snow and 40 miles per hour winds screaming off the lake. Temperatures dropping to -8. Detroit, 4 to 7 inches with freezing rain mixing in. Roads are going to be skating rinks. Give yourself triple the normal drive time. I know I'm throwing a lot of Midwest cities at you, but here's the bottom line if you're anywhere in the Great Lakes region this weekend. Hunker down. The question isn't whether you'll see winter weather. It's whether you're prepared to stay home for a couple of days while this blows through. Indianapolis, 5 to 9 inches with freezing rain accumulation. Roads are going to be treacherous with extremely high accident risk. Columbus, 6 to 10 inches with dangerous cold. The city is preparing emergency warming centers across the metro area. Cincinnati, 6 to 9 inches with the Ohio River approaching flood stage. 30 miles per hour winds adding to the misery. Cleveland, heavy lake effect snow with 25 miles per hour winds. Classic Great Lakes setup that could dump a foot or more in the snow belt. Toledo, 5 to 8 inches with lake effect and 40 miles per hour winds. Factory delays expected. The auto plants may shut down. Kansas City, 4 to 8 inches with rain mixing to snow. That changeover timing is going to be tricky for the morning commute. St. Louis, 5 to 8 inches with freezing rain. The Gateway Arch is going to disappear in the snow, visibility dropping to 0. Now shifting to the south where the severe weather threat is highest. And I want to be very direct with you about the risks. Dallas, 2 to 4 inches of rain with 30 miles per hour winds. Flash flooding is the main concern, along with an isolated tornado possible. Fort Worth, 2 to 4 inches with severe weather and a 20% tornado risk. River flooding is on the table. Houston, 2 to 4 inches of rain with severe thunderstorms. The tornado risk is lower, but urban flooding is basically guaranteed. San Antonio, 1 to 3 inches with severe thunderstorm watch likely. Inch-size hail possible. Low water crossings will flood. Austin, 2 to 3 inches with heavy thunderstorms. Hail risk is elevated. Have a backup plan for those Valentine's dinner reservations. I know I'm throwing a lot of Texas cities at you, but here's the deal if you're anywhere from Dallas to Houston this weekend. Severe weather is coming. The question isn't if you'll see storms, it's whether they'll be the garden variety or the kind that ends up on the evening news. Oklahoma City, 1 to 3 inches with severe storms. 1.5 inches hail possible. Tornado watch is almost certain to be issued. Tulsa, 1 to 2 inches with thunderstorms. Inch-size hail likely. Flash flood watch already in effect. Lubbock, inch of rain with severe hail. You're right in the heart of Plains Tornado Alley. Keep your head on a swivel. All right, we're about halfway through now, and if you've made it this far, the craziest part of this forecast is still coming. I'm about to show you temperature numbers that are going to make you think your weather app is completely broken. Numbers that shouldn't exist in February. But first, let me cover the Deep South where the overnight severe weather concerns are keeping me up at night. Atlanta, 1 to 3 inches of rain with light snow possible to the north. Severe potential exists. Hartsfield Airport chaos is expected. Birmingham, 1 to 2 inches with severe thunderstorms and hail. The southern power grid is going to be stressed. Nashville, light snow of 2 to 4 inches mixing with 1 inch of rain. The city is still recovering from previous storms, so this doesn't help. Memphis, 1 to 2 inches of rain with thunderstorms. Mississippi River flooding risk is elevated. Hail is possible. New Orleans, 2 to 3 inches with 25 miles per hour winds. Flood watch for the Mississippi Delta. The levees are under stress. Baton Rouge, 2 to 3 inches with flooding likely. LSU campus is preparing for the worst. Stay off flooded roads. Jacksonville, 1 to 2 inches with coastal winds, tropical-like storm remnants. High tide is going to make flooding worse. Louisville, 3 to 6 inches of snow with freezing rain. The power grid is already strained from previous events. Lexington, 3 to 5 inches with ice accumulation. Horse farms are preparing for isolation. Stock up now if you haven't. Now let me cover the West Coast, because a completely separate storm is getting ready to hammer California. Los Angeles, 1 to 2 inches of rain with 30 miles per hour winds. Flash flood risk in urban areas as the atmospheric river arrives. And here's what specifically concerns me about Southern California. The fire scars from recent wildfires are extremely vulnerable right now. Those are areas where the fires burned away all the vegetation that normally holds hillsides together and prevents erosion. When heavy rain hits those bare slopes, there's nothing to stop the mud and debris from sliding downhill. And that's when we get deadly debris flows. If you live anywhere near recent fire areas in Southern California, please take this seriously and know your evacuation routes. San Francisco, 1.5 inches of rain with 35 miles per hour winds. Dense fog is delaying flights. The Bay Area is going to be soggy all weekend. San Diego, 1 inch of rain with coastal fog. Surf is running high with beach erosion concerns. Stay back from the cliffs. Sacramento, 1.5 inches of rain with Sierra snow reaching 10 inches. Levee concerns across the Delta region. And here's a number that's going to absolutely blow your mind about the Sierra Nevada mountains. By the time we get to mid-February, the Sierra could have accumulated up to 120 inches of snow total this season. Let me put that in perspective. 120 inches is 10 feet of snow, taller than most NBA players, and it's still piling up. Mammoth Lakes, Truckee, Tahoe City, all of them are measuring snowfall in feet, not inches. The ski resorts are absolutely loving this. Denver, 3 to 5 inches with Rockies winds gusting to 50 miles per hour. Cold snap dropping temperatures to -5. Colorado Springs, 5 to 9 inches with 45 miles per hour winds creating whiteout conditions. I-25 closures are almost guaranteed. Seattle, 1 to 2 inches of rain with 30 miles per hour winds. Mountain snow hitting 10 inches. Avalanche risk is elevated in the backcountry. Portland, 1.5 to 2 inches with Cascade snow at 8 inches. River levels are rising, so watch those flood-prone areas. Now here's the part I promised you at the beginning. And I need you to really pay attention to these numbers, because what I'm about to show you is going to make you question whether your calendar is broken and it's actually late April. By the middle of next week, a dramatic pattern change will surge warm air northward unlike anything we've seen this entire winter. We're talking 60s and 70s for high temperatures across Des Moines, central Kansas, and areas that should still be locked in deep freeze. Many areas will be running a full 40 degrees above average, and that's not a typo. 40 degrees above normal for mid-February. Minnesota and South Dakota are going to see record-shattering warmth, the kind of temperatures that make you completely forget it's winter. This is going to feel like early spring arrived 2 months ahead of schedule. Some of you are absolutely going to fire up the grill. The snow's going to melt fast, the birds are going to get confused, and everyone's going to think winter's over. But here's my warning, and I need you to hear this loud and clear. This is a false spring. Do not fall for it. What goes up must come down, especially this time of year. And February is absolutely notorious for pulling the rug out from under you. The second half of February is going to be much more active than the first half. The jet stream orientation is changing everything. I think there are at least 2 very good chances of major winter storms east of the Rockies next week alone. And that's not counting what comes after. Several more storms are going to surge out of the Pacific Ocean, bringing additional heavy snow and thunderstorm threats through month's end. You heard it here first. Go ahead and clip this, copy and paste it. Frame it, there's at least one more major winter storm coming before March. I'm putting my reputation on that prediction. And if I'm wrong, you can call me out in the comments next month. The northern tier of the country especially should stay ready, because the pattern is setting up for multiple snow opportunities ahead. Here's what I need you to do based on where you are right now, because different regions need completely different game plans. If you're in the severe weather zone from Texas through Alabama, be weather aware tonight through Sunday. Have multiple ways to receive warnings. Know where your safe room is before you need it. Basement, interior closet, lowest floor away from windows. Have that conversation with your family tonight. If you're in the snow zone from the mid-Atlantic to New England, charge your devices, have flashlights and batteries ready to go. Remember that generators go outside, 20 feet from windows, no exceptions whatsoever. Carbon monoxide is a silent killer that takes lives every winter. Check on elderly neighbors and family members who live alone. A quick phone call to make sure they're prepared could genuinely save a life. If you encounter flooded roadways in the south, turn around, don't drown. 6 inches of moving water can knock you off your feet. I want to hear from you before I wrap up. Your ground level observations genuinely help verify everything I'm forecasting. If you're in the severe weather zone as storms develop, let me know what you're seeing out there in real time. If you're dealing with snow in the northeast or flooding in the south, drop your reports in the comments as things unfold. And if you've got family or friends anywhere in the path of this pattern flip, share this video with them right now before the storms hit. Here are my 3 predictions. Screenshot this right now because you can hold me accountable next week. Prediction 1, we see at least 3 confirmed tornadoes between East Texas and Alabama by Sunday morning. The overnight hours will be active. Prediction 2, New York City ends up with at least 14 inches, making this a top 5 February snowstorm in the last decade. Prediction 3, Des Moines. Iowa breaks its all-time February high temperature record next Wednesday as the heat wave peaks. If I'm wrong on any of these, I'll own it right here on this channel. That accountability is exactly how you know you can trust what I'm telling you. We've got 18 inches threatening New York, tornadoes in the overnight hours, and temperatures 40 degrees above normal coming next week. This pattern flip has 2 personalities, just like February itself, extreme warmth that makes you think spring is here, followed by storms that remind you it's not. And this is just the first act of February's split personality, with more drama lined up all the way through the end of the month. Stay safe out there. Look out for your neighbors, especially the elderly, and don't let this pattern flip catch you off guard. Enjoy that fall spring warmth next week if you get it. But whatever you do, don't put those winter coats in storage just yet. I'll see you in the next update, because trust me folks, the rest of February is about to get a whole lot more interesting.